Hi Sagittarius, and welcome to your horoscope for November 2024. Thanks for joining me. My horoscopes are based on the UK time zone, and please watch them in this order: rising sign first, then sun sign, and finally moon sign. So I'm going to break the month down into 4 weeks, and I'm going to pay attention to the moon and how it travels through your chart, so you have an idea of where it supports you and on what days. Week 1, Friday the 1st until Sunday the 10th of November, the moon is in Scorpio on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of November, and it's in your 12th house of spirituality and spiritual strength. And Scorpio is a water sign, right? So it's got an affinity for the higher realms anyway. And out of all of the water signs, Scorpio is the one which is best at diving down to the depths and uncovering hidden secrets. And in this case, then, in the 12th house, having a spiritual breakthrough or gaining an understanding of your true strength and your true identity as the spiritual being, right? So if you've never had some sort of spiritual experience, or it's something you're working on, or you want to have a greater, deeper kind of, experience about the universe and what it is, the first 3 days of the month are really ideal for pursuing that kind of thing. And the 1st of November specifically, when there's a new moon in Scorpio in your 12th house. So I've made a separate video on the new moon. Have a look if you want more information on that. But in terms of you, Sagittarius, it occurs in your 12th house, which really means that the things that you unearth about yourself in a spiritual sense around that day is something that empowers you moving forward and may even have a practical impact on your life. So, the more you know, the more you can do, and the more options you have in terms of what comes next. So if there's anything you're unclear about, or if there's anything where you feel disconnected at a loose end, just focus on that, meditate on that the first 3 days, and you'll really come up with a lot of meaningful info. On the 2nd of November, Mercury, the communication planet, that ingresses out of your that stellium in Scorpio that you've got in the beginning. So you've got the sun and the moon, the new moon, in your 12th. You've also got the transiting midheaven and Mercury, the communication planet. And on the 2nd, it hops over your ascendant into your first house of self, and it goes into your sign of Sagittarius. So Mercury is a communication planet, and in your sign, it's really your perspective becomes the norm. So what's the plan for the future? What can I do about it? How can I get there? What's the journey all about? How can I enjoy myself along the way? Where's good luck? Support me. So with Mercury going into Sagittarius, anything that you would like to accomplish in November, but also in a more long-term kind of way. What is your life purpose? What do you want to experience? Where do you want to go? Really, what's important to you and only you? And how can you plan that in over the next 4 weeks or over the next few months? And really do something that, I don't like the expression, but something that you'd put on your bucket list and try and accomplish that. The moon then follows suit. That also goes into Sagittarius, into your sign on the 4th and 5th. And the moon being your heart, expect the beginning of November, especially the 4th and 5th, to be really comfortable and to allow you to see the bigger picture and to kind of get a clear idea of where you want to go to and what actually is important and what doesn't matter anymore. Like, how have you developed? How have you progressed? What did you need in the past that you could care less about now? And how can you only focus on those things which really have meaning to you as of now? So it's kind of a spring clean here in November in terms of what are my plans for the future and which ones are still relevant and which ones aren't. On the 4th of November, Mars moves out of Cancer in your 8th and it goes into Leo in your 9th. And that's a huge desire to experience something new. The 9th house is travel, so traveling on a physical level, seeing different parts of the world, or traveling intellectually by learning and studying, or it's connecting to the higher realms via spirituality. So with Mars going into Leo here on the 4th and staying there for the rest of the month, the desire is the vision for the future, but also how can I expand and grow and learn more? It kind of takes you out of the present moment, and it's almost like you get a glimpse into your own future. So make sure the image that you get is up to date and is what you want to move towards. On the 6th and 7th, the moon goes into Capricorn, and that's in your second house of money. So in terms of wealth creation and income and getting things done, the 6th and 7th are ideal to be super productive. It's like the Eight of Pentacles in the tarot. And then the moon goes into Aquarius on the 8th and 9th, and it goes into your third house of communication. So that's a great time for you to get your point across, to broadcast your message, your ideas, to write to people you want to work with, to submit your manuscript, your TV show. It's also a good time to get involved in social causes, politics, or even to work in a charitable way, as in the humanitarian. I want to contribute something to other people, whether that's through charitable work or teaching, but ultimately it's about having more communication. So the 8th and 9th are great for that, and particularly the 8th, when the moon is in its second quarter, it's waxing and it's picking up speed, right? So you'll have a lot of ideas as well, and by connecting with other people, you may start to receive info that you wouldn't have considered otherwise, and it comes via other people. On the 10th, the moon goes into Pisces, and it moves into your fourth house of family and your roots. So that's a good day to spend with your nearest and dearest, your loved ones, to have a real sense of harmony and being recharged by those connections. So the moon here, in the first 10 days of November, it moves from your 12th house to your fourth house. So that's very much about what supports me, what gives me a real sense of peace, and how can I use this great reserve of power to make plans for the future, and how can I not just look forward to accomplishing them, but like, how can I get started now? So Sagittarius, you are taking on a new course here, a new path in life, and it's really going to pay off in terms of creating more security and having a sense that I can expand and pursue new things because I have this security backing me up in my exploration. There's nothing urgent here. Week 2, Monday to Sunday, the 11th to 17th of November. The moon is in Pisces on the 11th and 12th, so that's still great for family connections, a sense of peace and harmony. On the 11th as well, Venus, the planet of love and beauty, that goes out of Sagittarius and it moves into Capricorn in your second house of money, and it's direct. So from the 11th of November, Sagittarius, it's the ideal time of year for you to start your own business, to start your own creative endeavor, or to start your own business, really. Like when Venus is in retrograde, I always mention it's not the best time to get into a new romantic relationship or to start a new business. But in this case, it's direct and it's in that second house of money in the sign of the worker, Capricorn. So if you're a Sagittarius who is planning the future, and part of that future involves having your own business, the 12th is the best birthday to give it, to register that business and to get started with it in earnest. The moon then goes into Aries on the 13th and 14th, and that's in your fifth house of what you love to do, and romantic relationships, and simply having a fun time. And it moves next to Chiron, the wounded healer, also in Aries. So that's now totally different, and the focus is on healing yourself through having fun, having a good time, which is kind of the opposite of starting your own business, and being focused on romantic relationships. So, on the 11th, 12th, 13th of November, Sag, it may be a little complicated for you. You may feel pushed and pulled through kind of business concerns and romantic stuff. Ultimately, both kind of pay off. So whatever is most important to you, kind of focus on that. And Venus stays in Capricorn in your second. So certainly the money side of things and the ability to start your own business, that's not going anywhere. The only thing that complicates that is later on in the month, on the 25th, Mercury goes retrograde in your first house. So that then is too late. It stays in retrograde until the 15th of December. So that's not the best time to start a new business. Okay, but getting back to this, the moon was in Aries on the 13th, 14th, yep. And then on the 15th and 16th, it goes into Taurus in your sixth house of daily routine and work and your physical body and your health and securities and structures again, right? So the moon is in Taurus, the sign of money and security, and it's next to Uranus, the miraculous and unexpected. And on the 15th particularly, the moon isn't just moving through there, but there's also a full moon in Taurus that sits in your sixth house, and it's a super moon, so it's nearer to the earth and it will appear as much larger. So expect some sort of miraculous breakthrough again, as far as your work is concerned, and for you to find a way which creates more security for you. So it could be a permanent contract, or it could be a bigger paycheck that makes you feel richer and more secure in that sense. On the 15th as well, we have Saturn, the planet of structure and security, that goes direct. And it goes direct in your 4th house of your roots and family relationships and what makes you feel like you belong. So again, the pressure's off as far as I feel like I belong via other people, family, people I love who love me, and also in terms of my securities, my money, like having a roof over my head. So Sagittarius, for you, again, it says that there's the opportunity to explore a new way forward because you have major success both in personal relationships and money. And if it, if you're not working, if you're a student or retired, what you're working towards, you have major success in that. So really, you get to do things which may seem a bit frivolous, and you get to explore. Okay, let's see how else this influences you. On the 17th, the moon goes into Gemini, and that's in your 7th house of relationships next to Jupiter in Gemini, and they oppose Mercury and Sagittarius in your 1st house. Okay, so again, some bit of good news or some sort of solution to a problem might come via a friend or one of your colleagues or someone who's an acquaintance, someone you don't know that well, and that may have a good impact on your plans for the future. But what's really interesting, on the 17th of November, Uranus, the planet of the unexpected and miraculous, that's still in Taurus in your 6th house of work and routine and structures, right? And it opposes the sun, and it's going to be fully illuminated, and it's the best night of the year, the whole year, to see Uranus up in the sky. And it's kind of like this guiding light for you in terms of how you can create more abundance in your life. So if you're in a job situation where you're living, you get a paycheck every month, and then, by the end of the month, you're waiting for that next paycheck, and you don't ever have enough to put aside or to create a bit of a cushion, a safety net, or something that would make you feel safer, like in an emergency. If you focus on that, particularly around the 17th, I think you may be shown the way how you can create that for yourself, whether it's through self-employment or your existing job or something else. Just see what comes up. The houses the moon moves through in week 2 is your 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. And that's quadrant 2. So really, what and who do I love in life? And how can I enjoy this sense of security I have via my existing relationships? And how can I use that as a springboard to create something really rewarding as far as my job and my income is concerned? So the thing I'm getting from that is that you feel very confident and very solid in your life. So it gives you the confidence to take certain risks, things that aren't guaranteed. And it allows you to just kind of say, oh, the pressure's off a bit. I've got a bit more than I need to get by. Week 3, Monday to Sunday, the 18th to the 24th of November, we've got the moon in Gemini on the 18th, and then it goes into Cancer on the 19th and 20th, and it goes into your 8th house of big institutions, the authorities. The moon rules Cancer, so it's very happy in that placement. And the moon in Cancer is about taking care of things that may cause you stress. So these 2 days are the best to deal with any paperwork, immigration, legal, taxes, the government, any of those red tape kind of thing. The 19th and 20th are the best. From the 19th of November, we've got Pluto, the planet of transformation and change. That's been retrograding into Capricorn from the 2nd of September. And now on the 19th of November, it comes out of Capricorn for the last time, and it goes into Aquarius. And for you guys, Sagittarius, it goes into your 3rd house of the intellect and communication and perspective. So Pluto and Aquarius, I made a separate video on this in January because it moved into Aquarius for the first time then. But now it's done with Capricorn for good, and it's going to stay in Aquarius till January 2044. And Sagittarius, you really benefit from this because it goes into your 3rd house, which is linked to the intellect and the way you see things. And Aquarius is the humanitarian, the teacher, the inventor, the mad scientist, the person who comes up with something. So really, any of you guys, Sagittarius, who have some sort of message to share, or you want to teach something, you want to invent something, you want to come up with a new bit of information, technology, whatever, it's you that is creating this stuff. You're going to be really inspired via this shift. And if you work in the media or in publishing or biology or science or tech or engineering, you'll find that it's much easier to integrate really technical, academic kind of knowledge and information, and also to apply it. So any Sagittarius who feels like, you know what, I should have done a degree, I never went to university or college, this is something I've always wanted to do. You guys, for the next few years now, I would say, are really supported in learning and providing a lot of knowledge that other people will learn from. So what really interests you in that side of things? What could you learn? Where can you gather more expertise? You'll really be interested about that. The moon goes into Leo on the 21st and 22nd of November, and it goes into your 9th house and it joins Mars in Leo. So that's again a time for, I have a real desire to learn, I'm really motivated, I want to have new experiences, I want to go on an adventure, I want to explore practically through travel, but also intellectually through learning. So again, very motivated, upbeat at this time of the month. 21st of November, the sun also goes into a fire sign, that goes into your sign, Sagittarius, and it joins your transiting midheaven in your first house of self. So by this time, you'll have total clarity on where you're going as far as your work, your career is concerned, or again, if you're a student or retired, what you're working towards next, or what the ultimate goal is. So you'll have a great sense of certainty around the 22nd in particular, when the moon is in its 4th quarter and it's waning. So something that you've been trying to, like if you've been laying the foundations or making the plans and it hasn't quite been completed, you'll find that you really turn the corner with it by the 22nd and you're like, okay, it's in place now. I feel even more confident. I know what I'm doing and how I'm getting there. And I'm expressing it too seriously. I think it's more about celebrating that. And yeah, I know where I'm going and I know what I'm doing. On the 23rd and 24th, the moon then goes into Virgo, and that goes into your 10th house of career. So anything that needs sorting out, organizing, if you are a little bit behind, if you've got a backlog, those are the best 2 days to clear all of that. And in this 3rd week, the moon goes through your 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th houses, which is the 3rd quadrant, and that's really your connection to these institutions, red tape, formalities, anything out there, education, and also your job. So that's the best time of the month to focus on all those areas of your life. And then finally, week 4, Monday to Saturday, the 25th to the 30th of November, the moon's still in Virgo on the 25th. So continue to sort things work-wise and focus on that. Also on the 25th, though, we have Mercury now going into retrograde until the 15th of December, what I mentioned earlier. So in terms of the plan and, you know, laying the foundations and stuff, you're going to cool down a little bit on that, and it's easier for you to gallop off in the wrong direction. So stick with the plan and try not to reinvent the wheel from the 25th of November until the 15th of December, and stick what you've already put down. On the 26th and 27th, the moon goes into Libra in your 11th house. So that's a great couple of days for socializing. And I'm getting like working on your appearance, your wardrobe, your look, if you want to try something new in that area. I think you'll be in such a good spot that you may want to change something up, lighten it up to reflect the lighter mood and the lighter perspective on things. And then on the 28th, 29th, and 30th, the moon goes back into Scorpio, so it's a 28-day cycle, right? So it ends where it started. And that, I think, is an opportunity to look back on the month and to connect again on a spiritual level and to say, look how far I've come and thank you for the guidance, and to celebrate a month that, as far as I'm looking at it, is going to really pay off for you, and you'll really remember for a long time. That's when it all came together. That's when it all started. So I'm really excited for you, Sagittarius. I hope you have a wonderful month. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website, gregoryscott.com. To draw up your birth chart, I just need your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, then order a chart rectification as well. That's a process where I can work it out manually. And then if you have any questions around living, situation, travel, moving, locations, love, romance, finance, career, spiritual development, health, anything at all, I can answer those for you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, please, so it shows up in searches. Hit subscribe for more videos and share it with anyone who you think might be interested or might like this video so the channel grows. I hope you have a great time. Let me know how you get on, and I'll speak to you soon.